Simapuri, তেতিয়া আমি গম পাম that in reality কিমান distance wise ওচৰত হ'ব পাৰে Delhi, but in reality it is still far removed from the facilities and the privileges that the people in Delhi enjoy. Those who live here are squatters who came from Bangladesh back in 1971. As I had mentioned earlier, ইয়াত যিখিনি মানুহ settled হৈছে তেহেঁতি 1971 বাংলাদেশৰ পৰা মাইগ্ৰেট কৰি আহিছিল and 1971 was the year যেতিয়া বাংলাদেশ ফৰ্ম হৈছিলে ইণ্ডিয়া পাকিস্তানৰ war হৈছিলে and তেতিয়া ইষ্ট পাকিস্তান ফৰ্ম হৈ গৈছিল which was named as Bangladesh. তাৰ পৰা মানুহখিনি আহি পেলাই ইয়াত settle হ'ল. Squatters মানে হৈছে যিবোৰ illegal occupants হিচাপে আহে, refugee হিচাপে ইয়াত আহি পেলাই settle হৈছে. Sahib's family is among them. Our Sahib-e-Alamar family too, one among these settlers hoy. Simapuri was then a wilderness. It still is, but it is no longer empty. This is again an important line. Yat koi say that Simapuri 1971 jete manukhini ahisile Dhakar pra tetia ta wilderness asile. Wilderness mane hoise jot manu nathake, uninhabited hoy aru neglected area hoy. Jot কোনো facility নাই আৰু habitation থাকা মানুহ settle হোৱা কোনো scope নাই তাত এতিয়াও হেতু wilderness বুলি কৈছে because again it is used in a very figurative way মানুহ আছে ইয়াত but still it is neglected it is a neglected area which is located in close proximity, that is quite close to Delhi. But it is no longer empty because here people have settled down. In structures of mud with roofs of tin and tarpaulin, devoid of sewage, drainage or running water. This description is important from exam point of view because if the question is describe Simapuri, then we'll have to include this point, that is yet ki asile. Beginning on it was a wilderness. It's a wilderness hoy, but in a metaphoric way because now people live here, people have settled here, but it is still a neglected area. And then yet houses were kenekwa hoy, those are structures of mud with roofs of tin and tarpaulin is a description of the houses of the people living there. Devoid of sewage, drainage or running water. Yet proper drainage system nai, running water facility u nai. Live 10,000 rag pickers and total settle koratat manu kiman ase 10,000 rag pickers, and they have lived here for more than 30 years without an identity, without permits, but with ration cards that get their names on voters list and enable them to buy grains. So this is important because yat teheti ko identity nuhua ke as refugees ase etiao, but their only identity is the ration card that they are given. Or a ration card to karne teolukor nam voters listed ahe and they can buy the grocery or the basic food items like the grains with the help of that ration card. Food is more important for survival than an identity. If at the end of the day we can feed our families and go to bed without an aching stomach, we would rather live here than in the fields that gave us no grain. So this is again an important point. This was said to the author by a group of women who were wearing tattered saris. Tattered saris which were torn, which were rather old. When I asked them why they left the beautiful land of green fields and rivers, Bangladeshor pra teoluke kyo migrate kori ahile yat, hetu hudhat, these women had to say this in their reply. তেওঁলোকে কৈছিল that আমাৰ কাৰণে আইডেন্টিটিতছে বেছি ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট হয় আমাৰ ফুডটো, আৰু যদি আমি ইয়াত ফুড পাই আছোঁ তেতিয়া আমাক আইডেন্টিটিৰ এবচেন্সটো ফিল নহয়. Because if they can go to bed at night without having an aching stomach, because once when you are hungry your stomach aches. That's why they said that if we can go to bed without an aching stomach, we would rather live here than in the fields that gave us no grain. So for them, survival or existence, mere existence is most important than anything like identity. Wherever they find food, they pitch their tents that become transit homes. So, yat koise that তেওঁলোকে এটা nomadic life নিচিনাকে survive কৰি আছিলে যতে তেওঁলোকে food পায় they would settle there, pitch their tents and that those tents became their transit homes. Transit home মানে হৈছে temporary shelters. Children grow up in those shelters, in those transit home, that is temporary or mobile homes. You can say that jote tehati food pai tate settle kori loy, their tents khini tehati tate set kori loy, becoming partners in survival. And children, they become partners in survival means they also contribute in the earning of the family. And what is their source of earning in Simapuri? There is only rag picking. That's why the children of Simapuri, they also become rag pickers, just like the elders in their community. And survival in Simapuri means rag picking. Through the years, it has acquired the proportions of a fine art. Garbage to them is gold. So, garbage to them is gold. This is very important, and you can get this question as you might get the question like, explain why is garbage gold to the people of Simapuri. It's because of two reasons. First is whatever they can find in those garbage dumps, they can sell them and buy their food, buy their grain. And secondly, sometimes they can also find 1 or 2 silver coins and even a 10 rupee note in those garbage dumps. That's why those garbage dumps are no less than gold to those people of Simapuri. It is their daily bread, a roof over their heads, even if it is a leaking roof. Why is it a leaking roof? Because it is not guaranteed. It doesn't protect them always, but it can only sustain them from hand to mouth. That is, they can only feed themselves and survive somehow, living from hand to mouth. And that's why it is like a roof which is a leaking roof, that is without any guarantee, any assurance. But for a child, it is even more. For the adults of that area, rag picking means of survival. But for the children, it is beyond being a means of survival. It is wrapped in wonder. That's why Sahib-e-Alam, he says, I sometimes find a rupee, even a 10 rupee note. Sahib says, his eyes lighting up. When you can find a silver coin in a heap of garbage, you don't stop scrounging, for there is hope of finding more. It seems that for children, garbage has a different meaning from what it means to their parents. See, here we have 2 important points to remember. First is the basic human nature. That is, when we find something of value in somewhere, then we do not stop at it. We just keep on looking for something else, something more valuable. And this is what exactly Sahib refers to. That is, when they find a rupee or 10 rupee note, they do not stop there. They look for some more in those garbage dumps. And that's why those garbage dumps mean something more beyond being a means of survival to the children of Simapuri. It is wrapped in wonder, and for the elders, it is just a means of survival. One winter morning, I see Sahib standing by the fenced gate of the neighborhood club, watching 2 young men dressed in white playing tennis. This part of the chapter is very important because it tells us about certain realities of the society, that is, certain sports which are meant only for the rich class, and how the children from the deprived section, the underprivileged section, they can only dream of playing those sports. So tennis is one of them. And here the author says that she witnesses Sahib standing by the fenced gate of the neighborhood club, that is a tennis club, on one winter morning, watching 2 young men dressed in white playing tennis. I like the game, he hums, content to watch it standing behind the fence. I go inside when no one is around, he admits. The gatekeeper lets me use the swing. See, when Sahib is telling about his liking for this game, there is some kind of apology hidden in his statement. Enekwa lagise as if he is trying to be sorry for even admitting to like the game. As if this game was not meant for him even to like it. Janake, for children of their community, a game to like koru buli koato ba ketiaba khelibo parim niki buli koato eta crime asile. So, Jitya Sahibe koi, I go inside when no one is around. Yet, at a horu child or innocence to somewhere, it seems to get lost because little children, they are generally carefree. Teunukor hebur thoughts nahe, hebur worries nahe that kunbai dekhibo, ki koribo. Amar hebur thoughts ketia hai once we grow up. But as a child, to be mindful, সেইটো বস্তু ভাবিব পাৰিছেহি that মই তেতিয়া যাম ক্লাবৰ ভিতৰত যেতিয়া কোন নাথাকে ওচৰত সেইটো হি এডমিট কৰিছে it shows that কেনেকে ইমান tender age as a child he had to bear all those burdens, bear all those thoughts jitu society impose কৰিছে. The gatekeeper lets me use the swing as if কোনবাই permission দিব লাগিব এটা সৰু লৰা হে গেমটো even খেলিব কাৰণে. Sahib too is wearing tennis shoes that look strange over his discolored shirt and shorts. And this is a reflection of the attitude of the society. Jetia eta underprivileged lora, horu lora, tennis shoes বা sports shoes পিন্ধে কিন্তু ওপৰত পিন্ধি থাকে his worn out, his torn shirt. Tar tolot jetia sports shoes বা tennis shoes পিন্ধে তেতিয়া societyৰ এটা notion already set ase that these shoes or these costly shoes are not meant to be worn by an underprivileged boy. So yat hetue koise author jone that the tennis shoes looked strange over his discolored shirt and shorts, as if poverty was their destiny, as if poverty enekota reality hoy tehentor life or jitu karne tehenti in fact dreamu dekhibo para nasile. They were not allowed even to dream. Someone gave them to me, he says in the manner of an explanation. Riyad Sahebe explain kori ase nijo that moi shoe to korba palu, someone gave them to me. Nobody was asking him kot pala shoes, but as if he was guilty of wearing those shoes. So here the name of Sahib, full name Sahib-e-Alam, the meaning is Lord of the Universe, that comes into play because tar namor meaning to hoisile Lord of the Universe, but here he has to live like somebody who is answerable even for dreaming, even for liking just a pair of tennis shoes, even for wearing the pair of tennis shoes which was given to him by somebody else. The fact that they are discarded shoes of some rich boy who perhaps refused to wear them because of a hole in one of them does not bother him. For one who has walked barefoot, even shoes with a hole is a dream come true. See, in the previous conversation we find that the boys were telling the author that it was their choice to go barefoot, to walk barefoot. But here, Sahib, when he gets a pair of shoes, tennis shoes, even if it was with a hole from somebody, from some rich boy who has discarded those pair of shoes, while wearing those torn or disfigured pair of shoes, at a whole thaka pair of shoes to pinipela, it was like a dream come true for that poor boy. But the game he is watching so intently is out of his reach. Or yet the author is sympathizing with the entire community of Sahib that jitu game iman intently iman interest loi pele sahibe sai ase. He is unaware of the fact that that game is not meant for them. This game is meant to be played by the rich people, and they can only dream of playing that sport. This morning Sahib is on his way to the milk booth. In his hand is a steel canister. I now work in a tea stall down the road, he says, pointing in the distance. I am paid 800 rupees and all my meals. Does he like the job? I ask. His face, I see, has lost the carefree look. See, next time when the author meets Sahib, this time he is seen as serving in some particular tea stall down the road, and he is paid 800 rupees for working in that tea stall and also all his meals. But when the author asks if he is happy, she can sense it just by looking at him, at his face, because now he doesn't have that carefree look anymore, which he used to have when he used to roam about the streets just with the plastic bag, while picking rags from the garbage dumps. Now the canister, the steel canister, that is a container which was a. And when the author says that the steel canister seems heavy in the plastic bag that he's carrying, that he used to carry, this has a deeper meaning too, because while he was carrying that plastic bag, he didn't have to worry about anybody. He was not answerable to anybody. He nijor mote he plastic bag to carry kori pelai, rag pick kori pelai nijoke dintu busy rakhisile. But etia he belagor karne kam kori ase, and he steel canister to, it belongs to somebody else. Plastic bag to Sahibor nijor asile. The bag was his. The canister belongs to the man who owns the tea shop. So now he is not the master of his own. Sahib is no longer his own master. And this is the irony hidden behind his own name. That is, his name suggests the Lord of the universe, but he, even earlier, he was living a life full of misery. But he was unaware of it as a child. But even now that he is working at a tea stall, he is working for somebody. And now the meaning of his name seems to get completely lost, because now he is not working for himself, he is for his own happiness, but for somebody just to survive. That's all for today. And this part of this chapter is an eye-opener, because as readers, as informed readers, we can see that in India, we have such sections of the society which are still deprived of even the basic amenities, the basic facilities of life. Aru Simapuri nisna jagar ektar reality dekhai pelai author try korise amak etu bujhabole that we should not take childhood, we should not take our privileges for granted, because ami jekhini for granted loi asu enekwa lagise amar that these are a part of everybody's life, but it's not so. Amar childhood to ami paisu, jekhini privileges I have with childhood ami hekhini paisu, but enekwa kisuman section ase society, enekwa kisuman children ase jibilake nijor childhood or meaning to completely lose kore die, and they cannot get even the basic rights that every child deserves to enjoy. And through this, the author tries to make us realize and think about this reality. We'll talk about Mukesh and his story in our next vlog. That's all for today. Thank you. And if you like the channel, do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.